We have two major parties, the Liberals and the Labour, federally and state. Have you ever noticed they have no policies, either parties, no platforms to come forward and say, education, we're going to create jobs. Well, how can you create jobs when there are no jobs? Unless you get I call a paper hat job. You work in a cafe or McDonald's, which, no disrespect, fantastic, they employ kids, love them. But there are no manufacturing, there are no real jobs. So these politicians create smoke screens. They go off on tangents and they make a big fuss about certain things that's going on. And it's all to no avail. And another thing, our constitution, as you know, has been ripped up and tore up, but it still exists. The people working in these areas now, government and so on, are treasonous. They have committed treason, especially if they know about it. But there again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Any policeman will tell you that. And sometimes that's not fair because people just don't know. But they know, and it's up to you to find out if you don't. Now, it's amazing how the politicians, they stick to some of the stuff out of the Constitution and the acts that suit them, such as they can say whatever they like in Parliament without any fear of being prosecuted. Now, where did that come from? Well, that goes back to the Act of 1688, which was ratified, which means it became law in 1689. And that covers their butts. But that also came with the Bill of Rights, which gives us an enormous amount of rights, which they have denied us. And they have squeezed us into political correctness into an area where we have, as far as we're concerned, I used to call ourselves sheep one time, but I think we're chickens, most of us anyway. But we have the Bill of Rights, and we have a lot of rights. And as far as the government is concerned, we still have the Constitution. And the fact they've removed Queen Elizabeth from that Constitution and created the Queen of Australia, which is on the... I'll show you a photograph of the coins, how they took the crown off and replaced it with a tiara. But there's lots of little things like that. So in the future, please God, we stay alive now. That's a word I mentioned, God. God has been removed from everything, the schools, the lot. So as far as politics is concerned, God does no longer exist. Well, he who laughs last has the longest laughed. God does exist. Now, it's up to you and I to do something about it. We're going to have some interesting new videos coming up in the very near future, and we hope to talk to you, the people in the street, and get your opinion on certain things which will be interested. I'm now currently testing out a new microphone and camera and hoping that we can improve the quality of our production, which was extremely amateur and probably still is, but we have to start somewhere. Anyway, it's Dr. Barry signing off. Take care, and I hope you enjoy little bits of information that one day will change you and help change the world. But the last thing you must remember, the Labour Party must never be allowed to gain entry into politics or into control ever again, because they are the enemy of every human being in this country. They have destroyed since 1920s the Constitution. 40 attempts to change it, but now Bob Hawke, thanks to Whitlam, created their own constitution, and it's all totally fraudulent, a lie, and treasonous. But, you know, like other countries are waking up to the fact that they've been screwed by governments, it's going to happen here. The court system, well, that's a big story. We'll tell you more about that. Anyway, Dr. Barry sign off. Thanks for watching, and I hope I've given some information that may be useful to you, but spread the word. Bye for now.